straight series now, where Mike says closeout games are the toughest. Kind of what have you seen from your team, the way you guys have kind of kept focus in these games and right from the start to finish?
I think the energy that we have, the focus is really important, and it is a difficult game, but I mean, we got to find a way. We got to stay poised and stay locked in, and that's what we have each other for.
Jalen, what's it like when you see your crowd basically taking over an arena like this? You obviously know this is a big sports town. Were you surprised at how much and how loud the Knicks fans were?
I don't know. I don't think surprise is a word. I know that we travel well, and obviously being close to New York helps. It's a really cool feeling. It's something I said that I will always think is one of the coolest things in the world when you hear Knicks fans in opposing arenas, and it's a really cool feeling. I can't lie.
Jalen, getting back a little bit to questions about the closeout games and building on that in terms of the level of record you guys have had, consistency and winning games here in a row. What's that speak to the way you guys have been playing in terms of the consistency level and this team and how this franchise has been built?
I think we have good character guys in there. We have guys who want to win. We have guys who run the sacrifice. It's honestly a team effort, and when we're locked in, we're holding each other accountable, and when we're doing all the little things that may not show up on the stat sheet, and that's when we know we're clicking. We just got to continue to do that.
Jalen, I know you don't love talking about yourself, but this franchise has recently started winning again. The time that you got here, I think 47 wins, 50 wins, 51, 53. They'd only won 45 once since 2002. Is it surreal to you just how your career has played out and being able to help turn around a franchise that obviously very historic, but hadn't always won and is now kind of known for its winning as opposed to just the city it plays in?
I think that's a question I would love to answer once I retire. This place means a lot to me, and we're still writing a story, so I'll answer that another time.
Jalen, going back to college and now in the NBA, particularly with the Knicks over here. Jen.
Oh.
Yeah. Just, you have a higher comfort level in this building than other road arenas, and if you do, how does that play itself out on the floor?
Obviously, I'm very familiar with this place. Have a lot of great memories here back in college. But I don't think it translates that much. Yes, I like being back close to home, having family around here. But it's like a comfort level thing. I just think when you go into a road arena, with your teammates and you guys are trying to accomplish something, I think that I'm more worried about that versus like being comfortable in an arena.
Jalen, compared to a year ago, given how much you've been able to play with your teammates and the chemistry you guys have formed and how well you guys are playing now, do you feel like you're in a better position going into the conference finals this year than you were last year?
Not necessarily. I just think that we won round one. We won round two. It was just, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I think that we still got a lot of work to do, and our focus needs to be better, honestly.
Jalen, Deuce has this very obvious quality about himself where, like, he could miss 12 threes in a row and the ball come to him and he'll release the 13th as quickly as he released the first. I feel like you guys are kind of similar in having that sort of mentality. When did you start to notice that he had that too, and how did it show to you?
He's had it, and it's who he's been. I don't think maybe you guys have seen it now, but I to be honest, I've seen it since the first day I met him. There was a time where that I think coach told Deuce like to move the ball or something. Deuce shot a shot that wasn't the best shot at some point during the season, and then I think the next possession down, he came down, shot again, and made it. So that's the confidence level he has in himself, and then we all have in him.
Jalen, sort of related to the being better position question. I remember in Indiana, you said last year that you don't just start in the conference finals again. You got to go through the preseason and the regular season and the first round and the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you are back, what was that journey like? And I guess what are the emotions being back in that same spot, looking to overcome that hurdle?
I mean, it was a roller coaster for sure. I think outside of the New York Knicks organization, things looked worse than what they were from the outside looking in, but from everyone inside the building, and we were working every single day to be the best team we can be. That's all we were focusing on. And we had times where it was positive and negatives, ups and downs, but that's what our goal was. And so that's still our goal, be the best team we can be, continue to learn, continue to get better. And so the journey shows you who you are.
Jalen, going back to Dallas, you've been to the conference finals 3 times, and the first 2 times you could say was an upset to get there. This time it seems to be more the expectation. What was the mood around the team in the aftermath today compared to what you've experienced before?
I think we definitely have to discuss some of the things that we were doing in the game, and we talked about that we should have done better. But I think for the most part, we're focused, and we have to continue to have that focus. The attention to detail, the edge that we have to have is really important. I mean, these 2 teams that we could face, very, very difficult teams to play. So we got to be ready to go.
So it wasn't celebratory?
I didn't say celebratory. So, no.
Jalen, there was a play today where Deuce set a screen for Cat near half court. Cat takes the screen, then dumps the ball off to Mitch. Mitch gets an easy dunk. There were times this season where you guys weren't playing Cat and Mitch together for a while, and then you guys have started doing it more recently. Just how much of an advantage do you think it gives you guys to be able to play both 7-footers who have such different skill sets? And I guess just how have you seen them grow this season and last season as a duo?
I think the longer we've played together as a team, the more we've grown. And we found ways to get better. And it's a chemistry thing. It's a feel thing. It's how things happen. Now things get better over time.
This is 2 closeout games in a row where you obviously did not take it lightly with a lead. Just kind of what you saw and have seen from the team, kind of maturity, how you guys have responded to these situations.
It's great when you see your team doing what we're doing, and having that kind of focus and discipline and execution. I've always said that the toughest game is the one that ends someone's season, and to see us taking those words serious, it's great. It's great for us to see. But now we gotta we gotta reset, we gotta readjust, get our minds back in right, and enjoy this time with our family, and get back to business.
Karl, you had 10 assists in 20 minutes, and obviously the decision Mike made to make you more of a facilitator in the Atlanta series. What does it say to you about him as a coach that he was willing to make a move that if it didn't work out, he would have taken a lot of criticism for to do that or to make that kind of a change with a star player in the middle of a playoff series? Well,
no criticism because we didn't get to give him a chance to get it. I shout out to our team. We found a way to, in a way, save our season and do what was needed to adjust to Atlanta and found ourselves in a better position. And like you said, it's a shout out to the coaching staff for realizing adjustments that needed to be made, and also shout out to them for me personally that they trusted me.
what you see from Deuce today, stepping in to a big spot, stepping in OG's starting role, just kind of what you saw from him today.
I mean, he was fantastic. I mean, the start of the game really was the Deuce McBride show. He went out there and hit some really big shots that gave us momentum. And we talked about how we wanted to start fast, and we always talk about our starts, and Deuce allowed us to do that. So shout out to Deuce, man. He was one of the best games I've ever seen Deuce play, especially with the moment where we were.
Karl, it seemed like last year there was a lot of jubilation when you guys beat Boston in round 2. Did it feel a little more business-like this time around because the expectation was to be there and this wasn't an upset or anything?
I do say that our team, first year with each other last year, and to beat a great team like Boston last year, obviously we were very excited. And this year, we just have another year with each other, and we I don't know. I think it's just us being very locked into the moment and understanding that there's a lot more work to do. And as soon as you start relaxing is when you lose in the playoffs. So it's great to see our guys kind of hungry for the next challenge.
They just said you guys are through 2 rounds, the largest point differential per game in history since the league went to 16 playoff teams. Just kind of, you've been on teams that have gone to the conference finals now a bunch of times. Just kind of what you see in this team compared to teams you've been on. Is there something you see here developing?
I think it's what Vince said. I think it's really great to see our team in this mindset. The feeling that we got a lot more work to do. And to see us not really relaxing, but just in a way we look at these next days as a day for us to realign ourselves and get ready for the next challenge. I think it speaks volumes about this team, where we're at mentally, where we understand collectively that the job's not done, and we have to get our bodies freshened up so we could be ready for the next series.
Kat, first of all, congratulations on winning the series. As you prepare for the next, I guess, opponent, how do you kind of prepare for that when you don't even know who it is?
I mean, at the end of the day, we got to work on ourselves first. We got to be the best version of ourselves first and foremost. So, we'll take these days. We'll take tomorrow to, heal our bodies, heal our minds, especially myself, especially the mind part mentally, and get back to work. Get back to work on us, on everyone in that locker room, and on our game plan and our offensive execution, our defensive execution, and continue to find ways that we could get better. So when we start the next series, we're at our best version of the year.
Sorry, I'm a little loud, rough. I had to run from the locker room before you were done. There was a play in the first half where Deuce set a screen for you near half court. You get downhill, dump the ball off to Mitch, easy 2. There were times this season where you and Mitch weren't on the court as often. Just how has that relationship on the court grown into what you guys were able to do on that play specifically?
Yeah, I think it's been great to have more time with him on the court, be able to understand ways to help him succeed on the court, and that comes with just chemistry, just time on the court, time playing with each other. And throughout the year, we've had those moments, and last year where we were able to build that chemistry, and it paid dividends when we were able to be on the court together this playoff. So it's great where you can see that improvement actually happening, and see the fruits of our labor